President Trump's talked extensively about areas like the Department of Education. Obviously, those kinds of agencies.
You know, this is very interesting what Victor Ramaswamy just said, or however you pronounce his name. He said that Donald Trump has talked to him extensively about massive cuts across federal jobs and some departments to be just outright deleted. And he also said that Donald Trump talked to him extensively about getting rid of the Board of Education that shouldn't even be in existence anymore. And he finished the statement by saying the education should be determined by the states. You know, all through Donald Trump's campaign for president for the second term, you've never heard him talk extensively about anything. You know, it's how you're going to fix the economy, or we're just going to fix it. What about the migrants? Mass deportation. What are you going to do? Drill, baby, drill. He just very simple, short, soundbite answers, nothing in detail. How is it that Donald Trump can get behind the scenes where there's no cameras, no nothing, and talk extensively and convince Victor Ramaswamy that the Board of Education is a department that shouldn't even exist anymore? How does a 70-year-old billionaire that is not functioning right in the brain, the man sat up there during the campaign and mimicked a sex act on the microphone, and you're going to allow this guy to come in here, and before he even takes office, he's having discussions about removing one of the fundamental principles of any society is education. When he had an opportunity to speak in detail about this, is when he was on the debate stage with Kamala Harris. But when pressed about a plan, he referred to his adolescence and talking about cats and dogs being eaten by migrants who are here legally. Donald Trump has been saying for years that they want to get rid of Obamacare. And for years, they've been trying. And during the debate, when you had the opportunity to speak extensively about what you do not like about Obamacare, you had to come out and admit that you had no replacement. And when the moderator asked, well, do you have a plan? He said that we have concepts of a plan. That means you haven't even settled on a plan. You still got different variations that you're considering. And you voted this fool back in the office after that? That's pertaining to people's health? You're talking about getting rid of the Affordable Care Act after 8-9 years of existence, and this fool don't even have a substantial plan to replace it, but yet he's trying to dismantle it. And now that he's run for office, he's talking extensively about replacing the Board of Education. So what are we going to have now? Concepts of education? You're going to have education in each state of the country up to their decisions? You know, let me say this. I don't have no problem who people support, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, whatever. Just be able to articulately express why you do. And I want these Trump supporters to sit up here and tell me that you are 100% fine and okay with Donald Trump having discussions about getting rid of the Board of Education. Because I don't believe this man. I remember him mentioning something like this during an interview near the end of the campaign. But this is nothing that he campaigned on literally. He mentioned it during an interview while he was sitting on a mat because he's been soiling himself during this political process that nobody wants to talk about. And a man that can't even hold his bowels should not be allowed to make decisions on the fundamental privileges of this country, education. It should not be in the hands of individual states. Then that means that you have 50 different individual standards of education. How did this country move forward with all that variation? Let me say this. I believe the Republican and Democrat Party, both of them are trash. But see, the problem with the Democrats is, see, they don't make no distinct difference between the Republicans, really. They don't do anything for black people, and for black people to rush over here to the Republicans, and they have prepared nothing for you. So I don't know how you feel that you can make a way in any system. But see, the Republicans are committed to this slave mentality. You see, back in slavery, when they wanted to abolish slavery, those states who had slaves, they didn't want to make it a federal law. They wanted the states to decide whether they should allow slavery or not. And here is Donald Trump doing the same exact thing. You want the states to decide on what standard of education that's available to the people. You know, let me say this. Donald Trump don't talk extensively about anything. This is why he loves the poorly educated. I mentioned this in the video that I did previously. Because no matter what this fool do or say, his followers, his base, never challenge him. If you're not going to challenge Donald Trump, at least challenge Victor Ramaswamy. What did this man say to you to convince you that the Board of Education is an archaic concept and no longer need to be in existence federally? Because see, my thing is this. This country just voted a felon in office, a con man and a crook, a man that just spews adolescent behavior. And if you talk about something, this country don't need a board of education, it need to be done away with, I would beg to differ. I said, there's no way this country needs to be without a federal education. As a matter of fact, by voting, you are the exact reason why the board of education is a necessity, Donald Trump. You don't dismantle it, you double it. We need two forms of education in this country when you can elect a fool like this. This is ridiculous.